Good evening, everyone, and a happy Friday to you. I wanted to do a video to bring you some exciting news. I know many of you have been waiting for this news, and so today is the 19th of October, and this news came out on the 17th of October. I hope you can hear me well. I'm going to post a notice and the exciting document where you can find it after I post this video. But the public consultation begins for the new anticipated, yes, immigration bill 2025. This bill is what is the beginning of the work and process towards the new immigration law or act that we are hoping and expecting will be coming out not too long from now. I know sometimes we have these bills and then they can go on, the process can go on for a number of years. That's what happened with the Residential Tenancies Act, Amendment Act. That is a bill and that has been in the process from 2023. So I won't say any more about that. I think I'll do a separate video about that because people have been asking me to speak on that again. But this notice from the government website is saying, dated the 17th of October 2025, the Immigration Transition Amendment and Validation Bill 2025 was gazetted on the 17th of October 2025 and is now open for public consultation. Persons can visit www.gov.ky/LABOUR, the word labor, to review the bill. The publication of the immigration bill marks a decisive, crucial point in national policy with the launch of sweeping immigration reforms designed to realign the system with the priorities of Caymanians while preserving our competitiveness and social cohesion. After decades in which work permit rules and status pathways remained essentially unchanged despite demographic, economic, and infrastructure pressures, the 2025 government and opposition manifestos, that means both the government that's sitting now and the opposition, both of their manifestos converged around the urgent need for change, the urgent need for immigration change. We heard all of that during the elections. That was basically the prime topic that just about every candidate and every party campaigned on. The release goes on to say, through the 37 clauses of the bill, the immigration bill seeks to address various matters. Listen carefully. One of which is the time frame during which a person married to or in a civil partnership with a Caymanian or a permanent resident has to hold their residency and employment rights certificate before they are able to apply for naturalization or an open-ended permanent residency. Let me read that over again. Through the 37 clauses, the immigration bill seeks to address various matters, one of which is the time frame during which a person married to or in a civil partnership with a Caymanian or a permanent resident has to hold their residency and employment rights certificate before they are able to apply for naturalization or an open-ended permanent residency. Open-ended permanent residency basically just means you have permanent residency without any stipulations or anything like that. That's my understanding of it anyway. This time frame has been extended to 15 years. So that means if the bill, once the consultation is over and everything is reviewed and they take into consideration everything everybody says, it could continue with the process where the act could eventually become law, that it would be 15 years before anyone can obtain Caymanian status or permanent residency through being married to a Caymanian, right? As well as they could change it based on public consultation and the feedback that they get back They would probably say, no, well, 15 years is too much. They probably may increase it. We don't know. That's why there's a public consultation. And so continuing on, the aim of which is to cut down on marriages of convenience. Information will be shared seamlessly with WORC and other necessary agencies to ensure that Caymanians are considered first for employment, and to also inform decision making on applications for permanent residency and employment rights certificates, and Cayman status. Also, in an effort to curb job hopping, this is another important one to many people. Also, in an effort to curb job hopping and encourage stability within the labor market, work permit holders who change employers within the first 2 years, listen to that good now, of their employment must leave the islands and cannot reapply for a work permit for a year. So the bill presently is recommending that a person would not be able to change an employer within their first 2 years of employment. And if they do, they must leave the islands and cannot reapply for a work permit for a year. So you would have to go off the island and not reapply for a work permit for a year. These are all just clauses in the new bill, the new immigration bill, that are being suggested and will require public feedback. You don't have to be a Caymanian to give public feedback. You don't have to be a permanent resident to give public feedback. Anyone worldwide, nationwide, island-wide can give public feedback on these documents when they are released for public feedback. Exemptions from this requirement, I'm continuing to read, are available, however, under certain circumstances. These and other proposed changes are intended to refine aspects of the existing legal framework to ensure it remains responsive to evolving social and economic circumstances. Minister for Caymanian Employment and Immigration, Honorable Michael Miles, says public consultation of a bill is a cornerstone of good governance. I agree with you, Minister Miles. This process ensures that every voice is heard and that the immigration bill reflects the realities, needs, and aspirations of the people it will serve. By engaging with the public, we can craft a fair, transparent, and effective immigration system that upholds our national values and supports both our citizens and those who wish to contribute to our society. Now, people that are listening to this video, this last sentence here from Minister Miles is very important. Remember, I just said a few seconds ago, you don't have to be a Caymanian or a permanent resident to give feedback on this bill. And this sentence right here, this last sentence that he's being quoted, is indicating that effective immigration system that upholds our national values, Caymanians' national values, and supports both our citizens, Caymanians, and those who wish to contribute to our society. That's very important. When this notice is released, for you to note that if you want to stay in Cayman, you have to contribute positively to this society. And that includes some of you that are making some of these videos that I spoke about last week, right? That all of you who got on there with your combative mannerisms about those videos, that's what this is saying. You have to make positive contribution to this society. And that's what this immigration framework is aiming to do. So I want you all to listen to that carefully. The consultation period starts from the 17th of October to the 14th of November 2025 and allows persons to review the proposed amendments and provide their feedback via email to immigrationconsultation@gov.ky. Again, immigrationconsultation@gov.ky. Proposed amendments on the immigration bill can be viewed here. Okay? So what happens now? Let me tell you, this bill is 58 pages, 58 pages. I downloaded it, and you can guarantee I will be reading all 58 pages. However, if you have feedback and you haven't read the bill, but you have some idea or, you know, considerations that you want to give, you can give. If you want to send me your feedback or what you think, you can do that too. I will surely be coming back with another video after I've read this and let you all know what it says in short form and what I think about what it says in short form. But more than likely, I will probably agree with just about all that's in there. I think this 15-year is pretty reasonable. I said that in the beginning, that 20 years was a little too extended, but 10 to 15 years, no, 12 to 15 years is a reasonable time. And all of you that want to cry about that, that's okay. Because when we go to other people's countries, right, you can't apply in the U.S. for U.S. citizenship under a certain amount of years. I think under marriage, under a certain amount of years. And you see how big the United States is. I don't know what the period is in other jurisdictions because I haven't looked into that. But our little Cayman Islands, even with the three islands put together, and most people are populated here in Grand Cayman, put the 3 islands together, and we still can't compare to most of those other jurisdictions, not even a speck. So we have to preserve the scope, size, amounts, caliber, statuses, all different kinds of characteristics of persons that want to live and remain here in the Cayman Islands and contribute to our society. That's very important. And that means not making those videos that criticizes and condemns and show ungratefulness, unappreciativeness to the very country that you are working in. Yes, it's hard here. Caymanians have it hard. I understand that. And I have a lot of friends that are immigrants. And they send all of their pictures and letters and emails and WhatsApps and texts. And they send their conversations and tell me about how life is here, how hard it is. Rent, their employers. You know, I understand. I understand, but this is still my country. This still is the Cayman Islands. And like I said, I have different variety of people in my family. I forgot to mention I have family from the UK and Cuba and Honduras, America. Some of you may excuse me if I forget that I have Jamaica, yes. And so it's not that I'm against internationals. We just all want to be here in harmony, and it's not going to be a one-size-fits-all. That's very important to know. It's not going to be, and not everyone. Bob Marley said you can please some of the people sometimes, but you can't please all the people all the time. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to please some of the people sometimes because we know we can't please. I know Minister Miles and the present government and the opposition all working collectively. No, we can't please all the people all the time. So guys, again, I'm going to post this notice, and I will post a cover of the new immigration bill. And then I will post the links of where anyone can go to if they want to go and either save it on their smartphone or save it on a computer or print it out. It's 58 pages, so you may not want to print it out. You may want to save it on your phone or your computer and periodically take your time and go through it, you know. In PDF, there's places on these devices that you can highlight in case you see something that you want to talk about, or you just jot and make notes, okay? So thank you very much for listening. Tomorrow I'm coming with something else, or maybe I'll do that after this one. Have a good evening.